Good day, everyone, and welcome back to part 3 of Brody and Papaw's 4-part trilogy of us driving a 15-foot U-Haul all the way across Texas to the South Texas, near the South Texas border, with a bunch of stuff we're taking with us to Mexico. This episode is all about how much it cost, what the money outlay was to get all of the things to a storage building in South Texas, and what it's going to cost us to get it the rest of the way from its storage unit in Pearsall, Texas, all the way to our rent house when we get a rent house in San Luis Potosi. We are headed out from the U.S. from Little Rock, Arkansas. We leave Tuesday. Today's Friday. We're leaving Tuesday, and we're driving all the way to San Luis Potosi in the Subaru Forester. Myself, my wife of 41 years, Sherry, and Chewy and Queso, the Pomchi brothers. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give me that like button. The YouTube algorithm likes the like button. So here we are in the parking lot at Costco, and I'm ready with my list. Everything that it cost us and what we think it's going to cost us in the future to finish getting everything to San Luis Potosi, okay? Number one, the U-Haul. For the 15-foot U-Haul that Brody nicknamed the Beast. Now, first of all, I had rented a 10-foot, and so this is the price for the 10-foot, but U-Haul told me that I couldn't take a 10-foot on the trip, that all that they had available was a 15-foot, so we took that, but at the 10-foot price. Now, I certainly didn't need thunder. I certainly did not need a 15-foot. The 10-foot would have been more than enough. But anyway, the cost for the U-Haul was $576.01. That's from one way, Little Rock, Arkansas to Pearsall, Texas. Gas. And of course, gas prices just recently spiked. And so the total fuel cost for this was $276.63. Tolls. I took the toll road around Austin to get down to San Antonio on Interstate 10, and that was $55.59. It was a little more than it would normally cost because U-Haul charged me an administrative fee on that. Okay, and as you know, we stopped at Buc-ee's and we each got a t-shirt and some lunch. That total for the t-shirts and the lunch was $65.37. And so we stayed overnight twice, 2 overnights, myself and Brody. The first was at the La Quinta in Pflugerville, and the second was the La Quinta near the airport in San Antonio. And the total for that was, let's see, $208.93, okay? So food. The challenge that I had mainly for the trip was keeping Brody, the 11-year-old grandson, fed. That was difficult. The eating has already started at 11. Yeah, it's frightening sometimes. So I added up all the food. Now, breakfast was included at the La Quintas, so that's not included. And we only had one real sit-down meal after Brody helped unload things out of the U-Haul to put in the storage unit. Brody wanted a steak, and so we went to a steakhouse near the La Quinta there by the airport in San Antonio. It was really good. I'll put a link below. And so Brody had a steak there. And so our total food for the trip was $184.24. Now, flights, okay? The vast majority cost of the flights was paid for with miles from my credit cards. We flew American Airlines from San Antonio to DFW, and then we took the DART train from DFW Airport over to Dallas Love Field. That's episode 4 coming up next week. And then we flew Southwest Airlines from Dallas Love Field back to Little Rock. And so I had miles that actually paid for the vast majority of that. But I looked to see what it would normally cost for, now this isn't the most expensive or the cheapest, but the average cost for one-way tickets for two, San Antonio to DFW and then Love Field to Little Rock, would be right at $396 total. So that would be the cost there. The storage building that we have in Pearsall, I'm counting on or anticipating 4 total months for that. And so that fee is going to be $352.76. We had an Uber ride from the U-Haul dealer in San Antonio up to the La Quinta by the airport, and that was $37.94, including the tip. And our tickets for the DART train across DFW was $6, okay? So the total already out of pocket that we have spent is $2,159.47. Actually, my money out of pocket is a little less than that because I only had about $100 in costs with the flight. The rest of it was with miles. And so really, my out of pocket was $300 less than that. So about $1,850, thereabout, would be my out of pocket so far. So coming up in the future, I am estimating, and I think it's a safe estimate, of 4 round trips from San Luis Potosi to Pearsall, back and forth. I think 4, to fill up the Subaru Forester with all of our stuff. I think I can get it done in 4 trips, okay? And adding all that up, I think 4 hotels I checked, staying at the La Quinta there in Pearsall, I think will cost $300 for 4 nights, 1 night for each trip. Gas is where it's really going to get me because gas is expensive in Mexico and it's expensive everywhere right now. It's 550 miles between the two. And so while I really like my Subaru Forester and I really like the WRX engine that it has, it does not get the best gas mileage. And so I'm anticipating $700 in gas. I will probably have about $150 in food costs for those total of 8 days. Of course, 4 trips, a day there and a day back. So that would be 8 days. You know, we're talking sandwiches and tacos, things like that. So that will be $1,150 in the upcoming months to get everything back to San Luis Potosi. So the total cost for everything, if you want to load up a U-Haul and take it to Pearsall and put it in a storage building and then make trips to get it to San Luis Potosi, $3,309.47. I didn't think it would be that much. But that's what it is. That's what it's costing. So that's it. That's how much this cost us from Little Rock to Pearsall, and then what I think it's going to cost Pearsall to San Luis Potosi with a U-Haul with the things that we're taking. As always, thank you for watching. Be sure and watch the next episode of Papa Moved to Mexico, part 4 of the 4-part trilogy, our train ride from DFW Airport to Dallas Love Field. GoPro, stop recording.